Hello Internet, this is Jennifer from The Rampant Hedgehog. I am currently working on a double-face, double-turn tablet weaving project. It's going to be a series of dragonflies and hedgehogs. The hedgehogs are part of my device. It's a belt for my daughter. At some point, I made a goof. I'm not sure what I did, but I'll end up undoing it a little bit. I do want to show you what I learned, though. So, double face, double turn is called that because you need to make two turns in one direction, either backward or forward, to make the design. It's a little fuzzy because it's my cell phone, but you see it's a rectangle. That's because it's two turns in order to make a pattern. Now, the exact same pattern is on the opposite side. You can't really see. The exact same pattern is on the opposite side in the alternate color. Cool, huh? Well, this project is very different from what I've been working with. I've been doing diagonals and geometric shapes, and it's a lot of fun. It's complicated a little bit, but I'm learning. Now, one problem that I had, which you can see, this one is shed is up. It's afloat because there is another shed right after it that's already thrown, which means that I did not complete this shed. Now, the reason, which I found this to be really interesting, is the way I was working my project. I had my selvage. Selvage is separated because it always moves forward. And I had like the project threads. I'm just going to pull a couple. So I had the project pulled up so that my pattern was always up and my background was always in the back. Which is, it's an interesting concept. I mean, it's really simple. This is always the one that's going to be the design that's on your band. I realize it doesn't necessarily work for me, though, because I have to get up and leave my project quite often, kid-wise or whatever it might be. And as you can see right now, this one, it has purple on the top. Two purples and then the yellows on the bottom. Home base is actually, let me turn these. Home base is where there's purple, either front or back, where the two colors are vertical. And the reason that is because you can either go forward or backward to make the next color. If you go backward, purple will be the next shed. See how you can see the purple show up? If you go forward, yellow is the next shed. See the yellow. Now, being stuck in purple wonderland, it's like, oh well, did I go backward or did I go forward to make this shed? I don't know. So, I took a chance and I think I went backward because I assumed that my project was going forward. Now, instead what I do is whatever part of the project is going forward is paired with my selvage. Since the selvage will always move forward, I will pull the selvage down to be part with the background and go forward with the background. Or, if it's with the pattern, I will pull the selvage up. Oops. Take this one. And it'll move up with the project pattern on the top. So the selvage will go forward or back. So if it's up here, this part is going forward. Down here, this part's going forward. That really, really helped with organizing it, because otherwise, halfway through, you're like, okay, I'm not sure. And this is what happens. And you can kind of see it. I don't have a way of zooming in, or actually of autofocusing this thing. It's being annoying. But see how this side's longer and this side is shorter. The reason is because this is a completed part with its shed. It was thrown open. I put a weft through, turned the cards, came back through, turned the cards, and this was closed. This one, I put it through and I went in the wrong direction coming back, and so it left it open. There's nothing holding it down, as you can see. It's got yellow underneath it, ready for the next step. And this creates a float, which changes what the pattern looks like. So, by separating my cards to where the selvage is aligned with whichever part's going forward, really helped out. Another thing that also helped, which was just like one of those, why didn't I think of this when I was first starting, because it makes complete sense, is what side of your project is your shuttle on? Is the shuttle on the left-hand side? If it is, that means that you're ready for a new column of your pattern. You haven't thrown the shed and started a new pattern. Because when you go from left to right, that's one, and then you turn the cards that you have already separated, and then you go from right to left. Now what I was doing, I'm not sure, I think I was watching a movie, but I was not paying attention, and what I did was I went from left to right, put my shuttle down. Then I started messing with the cards, and the pattern was a little bit more advanced coming up, so I started pulling them forward and pushing them back so that I know, okay, this part goes with the pattern, so scoot this one forward and get that one ready, and then, shuffle it all back together to make it even. This is still okay because it hasn't been thrown. I haven't turned the cards. So even though they're shifted, and now there's more in the pattern section, the shed that's open is still the exact same. It's still the cards that were turned the first time. But I'm not sure if it's instinct or if it's continuity. I'm not sure what happens, but there's some type of primal urge to, once you have it separated, like, oh, well, I've already thrown my shed. That's cleaned. It's already on this side. Now I'm going to put it back through and turn my cards. And when you do that, it ends up changing your pattern, and it actually breaks up where your home base is for your pieces, because if you look here, say if I turn these forward, home base for this one is purple in the front and yellow in the back. Home base on this side is yellow in the front and purple in the back. And it makes a little bit of a frustrating headache when you're trying to move all of your background together forward or all of it together backward. And all it does really is reverses the order on the back side. So back here we'll actually have more of the definition for that particular color. If you can see it. This one is a little bit longer. See, because this one's longer. So it's a little bit of a pain. I'm definitely learning a lot as I go, and I've been looking at videos. I've also been reading a whole bunch and just learned how to read patterns, and this has been so much fun. It's definitely worth your time. If you have any questions, just go ahead and ping me. I'm on Facebook. I'm also on Tumblr. And of course this will be posted to my website, so you can get me there. I have a contact us tab on my website. I'm a very avid weaver. I will always gladly take commentary and love to get some input from you guys. If you have any questions or anything that you're having problems with, let me know, and I could probably make some type of video tutorial for it, because it's easier to see it visually as this and me, haphazardly moving my hands to show you than all those wonderful long blog posts with all the photos that I post, so that you can figure out what it is that I'm doing and try to follow along. So until next time, happy weaving, and I will see you online.